Good.
Do
Good,
anything
man.
fun?
I mean, I just had a beautiful, Thursday was fine coming into the week, capped a lot of information, was really, really big, right? And we'll get into all this, but I was really big on Indiana. I don't know. Do you remember me telling you that last week?
Yeah, Indiana, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Indiana, Wisconsin, I was really big. I was like, guys, if you don't do anything this week, just make sure you promise me you'll put some money on +9 Indiana at home and
Right.
take some money line. And I don't even talking about sprinkling. I'm talking about dropping mad units on it. It did. It ended up winning. I think it was 17. It was either 20-17, 20-6, something. They ended up winning. So the
Yeah.
+9 was free money. And if you had the balls to play a +9.5 straight on the money line, you cashed out. I mean, so it was a beautiful weekend. I was busy with regular shit in life, and here we are.
Hell yeah.
How'd you do? You said you went golfing, right?
Yeah, we went golfing. Me and John, the other editor here, at the Sobat House. We went golfing. Hit driver off deck twice. Went good both times. Going to Top Golf tomorrow.
Oh,
Went
nice.
to the
I always
driving
love
range
Top.
yesterday. Top Golf is
Yeah,
a blast.
Oh, dude, Top Golf is whoever invented Top Golf was like, hey, let's just put a driving range with a sports bar mixed with it, and
Yeah.
we'll make it fun,
And
Yeah,
Top
so-
Golf food. Top Golf food and drinks are very underrated. They have super good food.
Listen, when I was in Vegas, I've looked for them every time I've gone anywhere, but they used to have, you know what? I'm gonna probably fuck this vegetable up, but it's called an edamame, I think they're called.
Okay. I've heard
You know
of
what
it.
an
I mean,
edamame is?
I'm horrible with
Huh?
names as well, but yeah, I'm gonna go with this. Yes.
It's like a bean that you pop, but they used to have it with some spice and stuff. I had it one
Okay.
time in Vegas when we went to Top Golf, had a bunch of buddies out there. No other Top Golf offers this, and it drives me crazy. So I make them at home now anytime I'm watching the game and shit. But I'll send you the little recipe. I'll text it to you. You'll love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try it out. I mean, dude, I'll try it out.
No, you'll love it.
You just reminded me of something real quick before we get started too, because commenters are starting to come in. People are starting to jump in from the weekend. Real quick, there's this place on Fremont Street in Vegas. And I know you go to Vegas a lot, so you got to try it. Nacho Daddy. Obviously, you've probably heard of Nacho Daddy.
Yeah.
Like nacho barbecue place. Off of Fremont, they have this shot that it's called a scorpion shot, and it costs like $20, and you eat it or you drink it, a tequila shot with a scorpion, with like a dead scorpion, and you have to eat the dead scorpion. I did it when I was there. Fucking amazing.
Well, listen, you got to remember, I'm Spanish, and so we have always had the worm at the bottom of a tequila bottle. So I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. So this is kind of the same thing, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
And you
pretty
did
much
it
the same
though?
thing. Yeah, I did it. Oh yeah, down easy,
Yeah.
down the hatch. It's a small scorpion.
Sweet.
It's real small. It's not even the size of your palm. It's like it'll fit in your palm.
I'm not big on eating bugs though. I'm just not. Even chocolate covered ants or whatever in the fuck they do all around the country. I'm not just.
Yeah, I remember all these gag stores. They always have ranch crickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, we're about 4 minutes in. Got some people in here. Let's get started, baby.
All right. What up, everybody? It's your boy Nasty from Nasty Sports, and you're in the Sports Dungeon. Again, my show is from Monday through Friday, every day, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And what we do is I bring on people here. If this is your first time viewing me, I'm a sports handicapper. Am I the greatest? I consider myself to be good, but sometimes I'm not disciplined, as you saw this weekend. So if any of you were following me this weekend, it was a complete shit show. We completely ran the board college football, right? Not completely ran the board, but I gave out one of the greatest plays. If you were watching all last week, I told you guys, I said, Wisconsin is coming into Indiana. Indiana has been knocking on the door of playing great. They did really good against Michigan, even though they lost. They did really good against Penn State, even though they lost. They were competitive in that game. And then for some reason, the sports books were like, hey, everyone thinks Indiana sucks. And this is before Bob Knight, God rest his soul and his family. even passed away and the news came out. So that was even a little bit more of a bump. But you had Wisconsin coming in at a -9.5. We smashed it, right? We did really good. I ended up winning close to about 4K just on that play alone, just by doing some parlays. I did some live bets with Indiana and took a UFC fighter. She ended up smashing, winning within the 3 rounds. So the Indiana thing was a fucking straight G, beautiful spot, right? But then we came into Sunday, right? And what did I say? Guys, this is my 3rd biggest play of the year. And my dumbass took the fraud. And later, Gutsy's going to be back on this show because Gutsy, he owes some accountability to you too, because I was a believer. Gutsy's a fan. So I don't know if we want to call him a homer, and that was a homer pick. But in Gutsy, what were Gutsy's words? Leave the points at the door. I took +1.5. Gutsy was leave the fucking points at the door. We're going to fucking run a marathon on them. You saw what happened. It was a shit show. The end drive, guys, I don't know if you saw it, but 3rd down, and I don't know if it was 3rd and goal, but Tua went back left-handed. I don't know how that, Bryce, how did the ball slip out of his fucking hand? The dude broke, I think he ran an out and up, right? So he broke out, the corner sucked on it, and he was running towards the end zone, and somehow the ball just went like halfway. I don't know. Did you see that, Bryce?
Yeah, I'll let Gutsy maybe defend Tua. It's tough for me. It's just tough for me to defend Tua right now.
And guys, look, see, I'm dropping the fucking ball too. But guys, also make sure you like and follow the show, follow everything else. We're doing good in primetime. You saw I have my primetime jersey, even though, and I'm going to get into this football slate tonight, right? Because I'm wearing my primetime jersey. And I'm going to tell you what happened all day yesterday, okay? The dog, and listen, and then the 4th down, let me get back to that really quick. And then the 4th down, where Tua fumbled the ball, if you didn't see, I want you guys to go Google or go to YouTube and watch the back of Tua facing the end zone, 4th down. I think they were playing man because they were blitzing. That I don't know if the NFL was setting that game up to be a beautiful fucking, they couldn't even do it. I don't know if they wanted a fucking overtime game or what, but Waddles was running like a 10-yard up all the way to the goalpost. He was 5 feet. It would have been nice. Tua would have just had an open left-handed throw straight to the corner. I think it was Waddles that was doing the drag route to the corner post. He was 5 feet. He just couldn't even catch the ball, right? But anyway, it is what it is. We'll have Gutsy here in a minute. But as of now, the Dolphins are the complete frauds of the NFL, meaning they beat the shit out of everyone with a losing record. But then when they come across a team with a winning record, Bills, Eagles, and who was it yesterday? Kansas City. They killed them. I mean, they get killed every time. They can't compete. They can't do anything. So I don't know what. I don't know. Sorry, everyone's trying to get a hold of me over here in the background. Hang on, let me see. 1 second, Bryce.
Yep. Well, yeah, I can continue here anyways, real quick. If anybody didn't see, and I'll bring myself up here a little more.
Sorry, no, it's fine.
Are you good?
Someone. One of my employees thought I had an important message that a Coke fell and busted. So they interrupted the show to let me know that the Coke machine ain't shit. So there you go. That's the kind of show this is.
The Coke machine ain't shit.
The Coke machine took a shit and everyone's worried. But that's the least of my problems right now because we completely shit the bed. And did you know, Bryce, that yesterday, I think the favorites they won, right? Just straight out won. Whoever was favorite, and there was a lot of small lines, so it didn't matter about the spread. But I think it was 11-2. The favorites fucking ate. Everyone, so if you're a square or a fish, you probably did good because you're taking everything that was favorites and fucking, and it just made sense. All the home teams. Someone like me, this is a bad week for somebody the way I bet or the way I think because I'm always looking for a spot, right? So when all the favorites win, it's going to fuck somebody like me, and it did, okay? So that's not an excuse. It's just the way I sports bet. If the week goes towards all favorites, I'm smoked. So, and that's what happened. So basically all last week with the Lions money coming into the Indiana money, on Sunday, I just went right back. I literally cashed the check, turned around, and handed it right back to the sports books, and I got fucked. So that's the way it goes, guys. I mean, I'm not never going to make an excuse. That's why I'm always transparent. And even to the point last night when the last two games, right, we had Eagles and Cowboys, and then we had the Bengals game against the Bills. I did a 2-team teaser, and if you guys want to get on my team to see all that bullshit, it was +7.5, +7.5. I took the Bills +7.5 and the Cowboys +7.5. I could have just left that alone and cashed out, right? But when the Cowboys covered and I got the Bills +7.5, my way of thinking is, listen, I took 2 road dogs, right? One of them has to win outright. So what did I do? I then hammered the Bills just to win. So I had the Bills to win and +7.5. And it gave me a little bit of insurance, meaning that if the Bills let's say the Bills lost, which they did, but they don't lose by more than 7.5. And I think I got lucky because I ended up going to bed. I was disgusted with everything. And the Bills ended up scoring late and getting a 2-point conversion to help me cover the +7.5. But sometimes you got to take a risk like that, and I'm a risk taker in this game, and I gotta live and die by the way I sports bet. You know, I'm not somebody that sits here and is happy with just being up 3 units, 1 unit. I'm somebody that wants to be celebrating like 30 units on the fucking week. So how did everyone else do in the comments? What are they saying in the comments? Hopefully, listen, guys, my show is not just for people to come in here and cheer me on. This show's also for people to come in here and maybe just dislike the way I sports bet. Maybe you'll give me a different perspective on how shit works, and I'm open to that in the comments. I'm not opposed to that. So what do we got anything great going on in the comments, Bryce, today?
We have a few people. Kool-Aid, who I know is a Chiefs fan, said I did great in all caps. We have a couple people who are saying, like, Pass the D, saying that next looking even worse for like just the overall slate, I believe is what he's talking about. Lockfather saying best weekend ever, hit promo SGP, same game parlay. So,
yeah, I mean, this was a beautiful work. If you were on favorites this week, you had to have cashed the fuck out. My sorry ass, and listen, this is the bad scenario that I'm in now. I was really big on 3 games, okay? That was the Dolphins. Technically, they were the away team because they went to Germany and painted everything fucking Chiefs. So I was on an away team that was a dog, which were the Dolphins. The second game, I was on the Cowboys. They were the away team, and they were the dog. Then I was on the Bills. They were away team, and they were the dog. I lost all 3 of those fucking games. So tonight, what do we have? I can't even use the laws of averages and what's suspected to happen because now the away team is the favorite. So what's going to happen tonight? Is the away team going to finally win for me, which is the Chargers? But then they're the favorite, so what do I do now? What do you guys think in the comments tonight? And be serious. Don't go just against what I'm saying. What's your first instinct tell you based on how many favorites won? And then I think the record this week was 9-4 with covering the spread. So not only did the favorites win, but it was 9-4 that they covered the spread. What's everyone saying in the comments? Are we riding the Jets at +3.5 at home with Wilson? I mean, you got to be a straight animal to just say, hey, Wilson's going to get this done. But the Chargers defense isn't that great. And then you got to say, hey, can Herbert basically do it himself, right? This is all relies on if Herbert can fucking keep control of the ball, if he doesn't have turnovers. I don't know. What is everyone saying, Bryce? I can't see the comments yet.
Yeah, we have a bunch. So long ball money Larry saying Eckler over 30 receiving yards. And then Pass the D saying you've always said nasty, stick to one side, go with LA. Big hit Mark, Jets, but Jets gonna make a tear or make me tear. Sorry. And then Kool-Aid saying give me Chargers. So it's honestly pretty split.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be split I think it's gonna be split. I mean, when I look at it, my natural instincts wants to go towards the Jets, but then that goes back to me always telling you guys, never, the reason I win even when I lose, that's my favorite saying, is because I always stay to one side. So what happens is, and this is where you get caught in the zigzag, is if I do decide to jump to the fucking dog now, that's at home, that's when the favorite away is going to end up winning. But I mean, all the favorites won this week. How many? I mean, and then I'm always big on like what you see during the regular Sunday slate is not what's going to happen in the weekend. So what happens is as a sports bettor, you go, oh, fuck, all the favorites. So what does people do? Their natural feeling is to just jump on the Chargers and hope it rides, and that's when the dog wins outright. So, and I really believe – go ahead.
I was going to say just a couple more real quick was Hinkle saying Chargers first quarter money line.
I do like that. No, I don't like that. If I think anything's going to happen, it's going to be that the Chargers are playing from behind. So if they do end up winning, it'll be like Herbert coming from behind, because I just feel like the dog has to bark somewhere because it hasn't done it all. Like the dogs that did win, it wasn't really like anybody was watching the fucking game anyway. But so primetime dog, I mean, I would think that they would be the one covering tonight. So, I mean, second half maybe. And like I said, guys, make sure you give this show a follow, because it's not just my great content. We have guys that are spectacular in golf. We have Gutsy who comes on. He interviews tons of people. This is a great channel, especially if you're new to the Twitch program. And if you're a fan of mine, just give it a follow and see what happens. I mean, the content could only get better and better. I'm also going to go over some college plays tonight. College basketball starts tonight, guys. We've been waiting for this, right? Number 1 seed right now coming into the regular season is going to be Kansas. Is that right, Bryce?
Yeah.
How many college basketball fans do we have here? Do you guys like college basketball? Do you guys like it more than the NBA? I do. I love March Madness. I think out of all sports, I think the Super Bowl and playoffs of the NFL and March Madness are like hand in hand right there. Those are my 2 most favorite events of the year. That's basically what I live for.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, March Madness is probably one of the Super Bowl and March Madness are like February, March is the 2 best months in my opinion for sports. Before we jump over to NCAA basketball, we can put Gutsy on the stand because I have him here.
All right, guys, here it is. Without further ado, the man, the myth, Gutsy Picks is coming on. And now listen, this is coming straight from the horse's mouth. Gutsy was part of this, okay? So, Gutsy, you're on. Where's Gutsy at? Bring him on. Hey, big guy. What do we know? What are we talking about?
I'm a man of few words when it comes to what happened on Sunday. I would like to start off by saying it's incredible that every European is apparently a bandwagoner. It's the most
weird,
insane shit that I've ever seen in my time. We had a guy on my show on Friday who lives in Germany, and he was telling me that there was just Chiefs propaganda everywhere. The most insane shit that I've ever heard in my entire life. Didn't think it was real. Gutsy, them Oilers faded the other day. I also do want to say, when I came on here when was that? That was what was that?
That was probably like Wednesday or Thursday.
Last Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday or Thursday, yeah.
And I had my biggest NHL bet of the season so far, and it was Oilers money line, right? I'm not even trying to flip this to that game, but I'm not even making an excuse. I'm dead serious. That is the worst beat that we might have all NHL season. It was insane. They were down. Go ahead.
That was the one time I fed you came on. That was the first time you were ever on my show. And I said, this is a landmark event. Gutsy is giving us his lock of the year. I gave it to the whole team. I took it, and it just shit the bed. It was just like They
went down 3-0 immediately, and I was like, fuck. All right, not a great start, but the Oilers are okay. And then the Oilers proceeded to dominate the entire game. The Oilers had over 5 expected goals, while the other team had 2. It was just a shit show game. I cannot believe we lost that game. We should have won that game. But no, the Miami Dolphins, they're 0-3 in the 3 biggest games this year. That's an undoubtable fact. But our defense only held them to 14 points. There's not a world there's no stratosphere where you thought the Dolphins, if I told you pregame, the Dolphins are going to hold the Chiefs to 14 offensive points, you would probably be like, oh, this is going to be a blowout. Dolphins are going to win by 30.
I would have.
And
yes.
We just didn't. We kept getting in third and longs, second and longs. We kept shooting ourselves in the foot with a lot of dumb penalties. And we ultimately fucked ourselves in the biggest game possible because we ended the game with a miscommunication with Wilson where I'm sure you saw in the second to last play, Wilson was going to be wide open in the end zone, but that wasn't the play. He ran the wrong route. So, yeah, he was going to be open, but Tua threw it to the 10-yard line because that's where he was supposed to go. But that's fine, okay? And then in the last play, when he fumbled the snap, that was just – you want to talk about a depression. That put me in the deepest, darkest realm that I've been in a long time as a Dolphins fan.
Well, let me tell you this. On the record, anytime me and you have been together – I've tracked this because I do respect you as a sports bettor and your opinion matters just because you know player personnel, you live, you die by this shit. But for 2 years now that I've been talking to you, we are 0-5 together. The Super Bowl, and I could probably call them all out. The Super Bowl.
The Eagles.
We were the Eagles. We were the only two Eagle fans and backers when the Eagles played the Chiefs. We lost that. We lost this Miami game. We lost we're like 0-5. We got to change this shit around.
We walked into the Super Bowl party. There was 50 people at the party, including me and you, and 48 of them were on the Chiefs. There was just us two. There was a list that we had. We had a list on the fridge or the wall or whatever. Remember, people were signing their name under what they were betting on. And it was just everybody's name and then Gutsy and Nasty under the Eagles. And somehow, some way, we lost that game. I still can't believe we lost.
We did say at halftime that we both could have hedged. And I told everyone on my team, I said, right now is the time to hedge. If you're scared that the Chiefs might come back, you can hedge this game and be sitting pretty. I didn't. I went down with the fucking ship, and that's what happened. I mean, no one hedged, and some people did, and I applaud you guys, but we didn't hedge. So, all right, Gutsy. So, what's next? I'm going to ask you what's next for the Dolphins, and I'm going to ask you this straight, and don't be a fan, okay?
Yeah.
Because we talk realistic sports here at Nasty Nation. We're in the fucking sports dungeon. Do you truly believe that the Dolphins can win the AFC? And two, do you even think they have a chance, based off what you see, to win the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be totally honest. There are inconsistencies. They've shown on the offensive end, but no one's been more dead right than me about our defense and how our defense is not a bottom 5 defense in the league. We're actually at the worst a top 10 defense in the league. And our defense finally showed last week when we have our 2 best DBs healthy, when Jalen's not on a fucking snap count, when our defense is actually healthy, it's one of the best in the league. And what did Kelsey do? Nothing. Kelsey had like 20 fucking yards? Kelsey had nada. That offense didn't score a single point in the second half of the football game, and we lost the game. Our offense just has some inconsistencies. They have some missed calls out there. If you listen to Mike McDaniels after the game, he talked about some of the missed calls that we had where players were running different routes. And so I don't understand why that's still happening because that's been happening for weeks now. And the snapped fumble pisses me off because we've had so many snapped fumbles this year. It's like incredible. We have the most in the league by far. I mean, we have the most in the league by far. And I don't even know who that is to blame. Like, I don't know if you go at the center, but we're going to our bye week, right? Coming off, again, a tough loss, right? Needed to win that game. But all 3 of our losses, though, by the way, have been on the road. So it's like we're not even getting – everyone's beating off the Bengals because the Bengals are winning these big games and stuff. The Bengals are winning these big games at home in front of their crowd. And let's also not forget, they are a veteran team. We are a very young team with tons of talent. We are going to be just fine. There goes that pen. We are going to be just fine. This team will be great. This team's going to be great. I'm telling you right now, there's a team that's still going to contend for a Super Bowl this year. We're still going to make the playoffs. The Bills showed last night. I mean, the Bills are not a good football team. They are not good.
No.
The Dolphins are better than the Bills. You can say whatever you want about the first game where we played in Buffalo. I do not care. We are the best team in the AFC East, and we are going to still win the AFC East. We don't have to worry about anybody else besides the Bills. And again, I'm not worried about the Bills. And then we'll go to the playoffs where anything can happen. That's kind of
I'll tell you this. I'm somebody that always stays on the same side. I truly believe that the Dolphins can get it together on both sides of the ball, meaning defense shows up, offense does what they do. I truly believe that the Dolphins will see Kansas City again. Right? Will they see Kansas City again?
I 100%
and I'm going to jump on. And I'm going to jump on the Dolphins. I'm going to stay on the Dolphins side. There's no way what I saw. I truly believe that was a fluke. Them even picking up the scoop, the fumble, scoop and run, and all that other shit. It was a disaster, right? Yes. But until then, let me see. Wait. So go ahead. I mean, what do you have a lot going on? Let me see. I'm trying to get my camera here because here at Nasty Nation. Let me see. You see him? All right.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Until further notice, my friend. Let me back up. Until further notice, and this is a historical moment on the dungeon. Let me scoot over here because you guys can't see me. This motherfucker is almost 10 feet tall. And this is the barrel to the pits of hell, Gutsy. The Dolphins are 0-3 against good teams, and they beat the shit out of bad teams. As of now, they are on notice being the first team in history to go down, and can I get a fins up? To go into the pits of hell, and that's it. Let me readjust my camera, and I'll give you the floor for that one.
First of all, I do love the prop. I love that guy being in the corner. I mean, I cannot believe how tall that guy is. I mean,
he's a beast.
That is a massive figure. Listen, people are loving to bring up our scoring differential too and our averages between the bad teams and the good teams. Let's not forget, who's lost to the Broncos this year also. People are only bringing up who the Dolphins are losing to because of how good we are, but no one wants to talk about who else has lost to the Broncos and what some of these other great teams who they have lost to. And I'm totally fine with it. Okay. I'm totally fine with it. But,
I got to go with the Dolphins with this one just because they cost me some big fucking bread. This was my third biggest play of the year. And the other two cash, this one shit the bed. So as of now, first team in history to go into the shit barrel. And it is what it is. But moving on subjects. Gutsy, basketball starts tonight. I don't know if you had a chance to look over any of the slates. I think there's like 70 games. Yeah, do you have your favorite play tonight by any chance?
I really don't ever bet like the first couple weeks of college basketball. I always let it go. It's the same kind of way I treat with college football. College football is a little bit different, especially now with the transfer portal being as aggressive as it is. But with some of these basketball teams, I really don't bet that much. But I do have a play that I like tonight. It's actually at that 3:30 Oregon game. Let me make sure the line hasn't moved super bad. Because it was at 5. I saw that some books are moving it up to 6, 6.5. Where the hell is this game at? The Oregon game. Where is this Oregon game? Where the hell is this Oregon game? Oh, it's top 25 only. Hold on. This is bad TV, bad television. We're
pandering. And it's fine. Everyone in the comments, as Gutsy is talking about this, Bryce, you want to put up the SoBet thing real quick? Guys, if you want mine and Gutsy's information, and I know this is my show, he has his show, but you could always go and use Gutsy's promo, my promo. My promo's right there. You could click right on it. Basically, SoBet in a nutshell is you get a bunch of different sports handicappers or sports influencers all on one platform. And for $10 a month, you get access to everyone. We all have our ups and downs in life about what goes on that platform. But, I mean, Gutsy, you don't know everyone on that platform, right? You just...
Not anymore.
No, it's like it changes. People come, people go. So make sure you do your due diligence. And if you follow or you like someone's information before you hit the subscribe on them. And like I said, you get everyone's information for $10, but make sure you like their content. Maybe you like their stuff. But like I said, you get everybody's for the same $10. But I think it's a great value. And we're just getting started at SoBet. We're only like 2 years old. And We're doing a lot of big things. A lot of big tech is coming. We're going to get some software running, but it's going to be a good time. So I also, in the comments, guys, let us know as Gutsy's about to give us his pick. I'm going to give you my favorite pick. I have actually two, and I'm going to put them out on the slate tonight besides our NFL. But let me know in the comments so everyone else knows who you like and maybe one small sentence on why. But Gutsy, go ahead.
So I'll be honest, and again, I have not bet this, at least up to this point. I do see that it's actually also moving down in some books, and I know that one of my guys in my court who's a really good college basketball gambler likes Oregon tonight, but I actually like Georgia tonight to cover that number. I know that you can get 6.5 in plenty of books now. Oregon's coming in with a whole different scheme. Obviously, they got a new coach, and I know that he's found success at different schools as he's moved there fast. But he hasn't been there that long, and Oregon already has some injury issues with some of their starters. It just seems like a perfect spot for Georgia, who's, again, another team that's got a lot of new players, but they're a lot more healthy, and I think that 6.5 is just way too much for this opener here. I think Oregon's going to be just fine as the season goes on. They'll probably be one of the better teams in college basketball, potentially. I mean, again, it really comes down to what I'm forgetting the coach's name right now, but he's been to like 4 or 5 different schools, and he's done very well at all of them. So, I do think Georgia's the player, and I think Oregon's just getting a little too much love for what he's done at other schools.
Yeah, with Oregon, and I don't even think the game's not even in Oregon, is it? If I have that right, I think it's in Vegas. Yeah, it might be a neutral site. So I think Oregon for the sports books, and I'm also on this also, but I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna play it yet, just because it's not one of my favorites, and I don't just want to jump into the pool. But I think you're getting the Oregon name at -6, right?
Yeah, looks like you can get 5.5 at one book.
Yeah, -6. It just seems a little fishy, right? Especially for it to be a neutral site game. And so I do like the pick. I would tell you on that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. One of my favorite picks, guys, this is a no-brainer to me, and I took some notes. But Charleston is playing Iona. Do you know who Iona is, Gutsy?
Oh, of course I know who Iona is. And Rick Pitino used to coach the team, and he turned that whole little program around. They won the MAC conference. Wasn't it the MAC? No, the MAC conference, right? Several times. And guys, Iona's has a new coach. Rick Pitino's no longer there. They're bringing back one player from last year. One player. New coach, only one player. Charleston's bringing back like 5 key players. They got some transfer portal guys coming in. -6.5 to me, when you already have an established team that was pretty good last year against a team that is completely discombobulated, I'm taking Charleston to the fucking moon, -6.5. That line's probably not going to move much because it's one of those like non-brand games, but that's the way we love it here, right? I love to find the value in small teams because as the whole world's watching Kansas tonight try to cover -30.5, I'm going to be on little Charleston over here at -6.5, and I think they win by double digits easy. So don't hate it.
What do you guys do? What do we got in the comments, Bryce?
We got Charleston Chew underrated.
Charleston Chew.
Just a lot of agreement with the -6. Let's see. Not much coming from basketball side just because it's so new, but Kool-Aid's locking it in. Kool-Aid's going to ride. And then Rookie's just asking, are we going to win a bet? Or if you're both on the same game, are we finally going to win a bet? We don't know.
Yeah, I think listen, since you usually don't bet, okay, on basketball, Gutsy, right? Early in the season. Did you agree on that?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to get the monkey off our fucking back, our 0-5, and ride with me on Charleston -6.5? Would you do that so we could get this one win out of the way?
I agree to it.
All right, so here we go. We got Gutsy on board. We got a gutsy, nasty fucking team ride. We're 0-5 in history. Can we get our first win? I love this spot. Thank you for agreeing. And Gutsy, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I just wanted to everyone needed to hold you accountable with that fucking Dolphins jersey. And we'll see you. Maybe I'll be on tonight. Who you guys got on with the scoop tonight?
Actually, yeah, we're just gonna run last week's show if you're available. Just me, you, and Coop again.
We're here. I'll get the and I have the trophy coming. Look, the Heisman the nasty Heisman trophy. It's coming. It's going to be right here. All right. 6 foot tall. Holding gold.
Well, 6 foot tall?
6 foot tall trophy coming. And it's going to be the actual, it's being built. $2,000. Okay. Gutsy, $2,000 to build this fucking thing.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see it. Thanks for having me on. Shout out everybody in the chat. And shout out to whoever was talking about my tan line. Yeah, I got a gnarly golfer's tan line. I've had one my whole life. There's nothing else I can do about it. I mean, look at this.
Hey, farmer's tan. Look at that.
The camera doesn't even do its justice. But
dude,
shout out Charleston. Go Charleston. Thanks to everybody in the chat. And we'll talk to you tonight, bro. Make sure you guys tune into the show tonight.
All right, guys, there was Gutsies. We have to hold people accountable. I'm holding myself accountable. This week, I gave back tons of bread back to the fucking sports book. But listen, I'm not doing that bad, guys. If you've been following me since week 1, I'm still up probably like $8,000. I was going through all my shit. I'm up $8,000. Remember, because I show you guys every time I take a withdraw from the sports book. So I've withdrawn a lot of money. I'm still sitting at like $9,000 in my balance of sportsbook. I was at 24. So I did give back a lot of bread because, and it's disgusting when that happens, but it happens. What do you want me to do? All you can do is keep firing. Bryce, also in the comments, what do we have as far as, do we have any player props that anyone likes for tonight? Any player props?
Yeah, start dropping your player props. Yeah. People start dropping your player props for a nice game. I'll let you know about them when they come in. Give them just a sec to type on their keyboards there. One question by Rookie, I got to bring it up as well. Nasty, are you going to continue believing in Josh Allen, or are you finally to the point where you're like, okay, he's actually kind of overrated? Or what's your thoughts on Josh Allen? Because I do know you used to, at least, or maybe you still do. You did like Josh Allen a lot.
No, I do like Josh Allen, and I like Diggs. I hate the fucking head coach, right? I hate that he just plays a zone. Like, get the fuck out of the zone. And he thinks he's so crafty. When you're playing a Joe Burrow, a fucking Mahomes, these top elite quarterbacks, they're going to eat you the fuck alive. Do something else. I don't understand the zone concept. Like, zone is great if you can get a push up to the quarterback, but your fucking defensive line is not pushing forward. The problem is, let me tell you what happens in my mind, guys. And the reason you guys always tell me, Nasty, why do you keep fading Mahomes? Nasty, why do you keep taking Josh Allen? Because the minute I fucking jump to the other side, I got to try to find value and the storyline, right? If you guys follow the storyline and you want to know why the reason I took the Bills is because they were on the road and they were a dog, right? Well, I already got my head split open twice that day. So I got my hit with the Dolphins and the Cowboys. So I'm like, listen, I got to stay on one side, right? And if I don't stay on one side, I either got to walk away from the game. I'm a degenerate gambler just like you guys, so I get caught up in it, but I don't want to zigzag. Because as soon as I start zigzagging, I'm going to cost myself tons of fucking money. So it's not really that I believe that the Bills are going to win it all and be this dynasty. I'm just trying to stay on one side of the fucking ball and try to find the value each week, right? And somewhere along the lines, I'm truly believing that the Bills are going to have like a 3-game winning streak, and I'll get my fucking money back anyway. But until then, that's how I have to answer it. I'm not so much a Bills backer. I'm just trying to not zigzag on the sports side. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yep. We got a couple game props. Let me find them. Zach Wilson under 212.5 yards. I'm guessing it's just passing yards. Yeah.
That'd be his passing yards.
Not total. Yeah. And then we have another one, which I just lost it. Hang on. Oh, here it is. Lockfather. He said this earlier as well, I believe. Garrett touchdown, Wilson plus 250, and I'd combine with the Jets win, because if both teams of those happen, if both of those things happen, I can see all three. Oh, so 2 of those things happen, you can see all 3 of them. So Garrett touchdown, Wilson touchdown, or Wilson plus 250 yards. So Zach Wilson plus 250 yards, Garrett touchdown, and then Jets winning. All same game parlay. What does that pay? What's those odds?
I mean, that's going to be nice. And I mean, guys, if it's going to be so hard for me to take the Jets, I'm probably going to end up taking the Jets in a same game parlay. Just because there's been so many favorites who've won tonight. I mean, this whole past week. So what is everyone going to think is going to happen is that the fucking Jets are going to lose and the favorite's going to win. I wish that it was the other way around. I wish the Chargers were at home so that I could stay on the side of the road team since I was all week and take the dog. But now we're in this weird situation where I either got to take the dog or I got to take the road team. Like, so, I mean, that's where we stand. Another game in college, guys, these are some of the notes I'm taking, and I took a shit ton of notes, but I truly do believe that Kansas tonight, I think they were preseason coming into the season as the number one team in the nation. They did get Dickerson, is that his name? Dickinson from Michigan in the transfer portal. If you don't know who Dickinson is, he's like 7'2", shoots the three, pretty good down inside, big defensive prowess for a team. I think this Kansas team wins somewhere around 87 to 40 something, which will cover the 30 points. It is always scary to drop 30, especially in college basketball, minus 30. So they'd have to win by 31 points. I'm going to put 1 unit on it. I truly believe that Kansas, they bring 2 key players back. They have a lot of nice juniors that are coming up, and with getting Dickinson in the fucking portal, I think they're going to be a handful. Also, can you look this up real quick, Bryce?
Yeah.
What is Dickinson from Kansas? What's his over/under on points and rebounds? Because now I know on FanDuel, DraftKings, you can do player props on college basketball. Does anyone know? Maybe someone else already knows. So anyway, I like that. And I also, let me go back to my other notes. Give me a second here. And you got to remember this, guys. This is a new show. I don't have a producer. I don't have a movie, but I'm getting everything soon. We're getting better lighting. We're getting tons of better shit. So make sure you follow this. If you're following me on Twitch, go check me out on YouTube. Same show. Just go support the whole show, because all I'm going to do is try to keep growing this. I want to create a show that is based on fun, actual facts, life events, sports. 90% of the time, 10%, we're going to be talking about other shit. We're going to have some cool ass guests here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I do want to look at something. I did write a good note down on a player prop. And any of you guys were in my VIP, I gave out, this was probably the biggest player prop I gave out of the year. I dropped $1,000. So I dropped 5 units on just one player prop, and that was the Chicago Bears. How do you pronounce his name? He's the tight end. Commit, right?
Commit.
Commit. I had over, I think it was 38 yards catching. Guys, I think that's going to be a fucking wagon for us, because as long as this rookie quarterback's in there, he's going to be looking to just dump the ball down. I think he has this guy's number. He's looking for him almost every passing play first. And I think he eclipsed that before even half. I think he had over 38 yards before half. So that was great.
Jumping back when we were talking about Kansas, Hunter Dickinson, RPA or PRA, 27.5. So that's what his rebound. Yeah.
Points and rebounds, 27.5?
Points, rebounds, assists, yeah. 27.
And assists. Okay. I like it. I mean, I could see him dropping 15, 17 points, 10 rebounds. I think that'll put him right there. He get a couple of assists. I might take him. They're gonna run. I heard the coach, right, talk about it the other day, and he's talking about running the offense through him. So I mean, that means the guy's got to see the ball, touch the ball. On the offensive glass, he's a monster too, so he'll be getting his own. So even when the play's not ran for him, he's going to be scrapping it up on the offensive rebound. So, I mean, I really like his over, what did you say, 27.5?
Yep, 27.5.
I actually thought that was going to be in the 30s, but, He does shoot the 3-ball really good. The only thing that he could get caught up in, and I don't think it will be in this game, is when he has a big defender. Because remember, Ann Arbor is only 30 minutes from me. So I used to watch the guy, I used to go to the games. And when he has a bigger defender, he does like to shoot the jump ball more, maybe fade out to the 3-pointer. But playing in this game, a smaller school, I think he's going to be down low banging. He's going to get free points on the free point, shooting the free throws, 3-pointers. So we'll see what happens. Let's not go crazy the first day, but we got to get some action on college basketball, especially where there's good value. That's how I like to see it. Anyway, let's say, what do we got on plans tomorrow? Does anyone got any hot tips to look at? Because guys, I'm only one guy. I'm trying to produce the show. Bryce has been a huge help to us here at SoBet. But if you guys got any tips, tricks, anything that's coming up, if you got a nice hockey play, anything, always put it in the comments. And if you would, always share the show to any platform you can. Put it on YouTube, put it on Twitter and Facebook, and help us try to grow this show, because the bigger I get, the more exciting it will get, and I'll be wanting to put tons more energy into it and do a lot more shit for us. So if you like the show, help me grow it. What else we got, Bryce? Anything in the comments?
We have a couple things that are, one of them I'm going to bring up really quick, which is kind of funny. I saw a funny comment by NASCAR 75. He says, I forgot to make my survivor pick this past weekend. So he's in a pickle and has to choose either the Jets or Chargers. So
that's who he has both.
He has to pick one of them. Yeah. He forgot to make his survivor league pick. So he has to pick the Jets or Chargers.
If you were holding me, and I'm going to go with the storyline here, and I'm going to go with whatever else is going on within the week. All the favorites fucking covered. The record was 11-2, right? Of the favorite just winning. And then it was 9-4, the favorite winning and covering. So tonight, I truly believe this is a perfect spot for the dog. I think I have to ride the Jets plus 3.5, even though I don't like the minus 3.5, meaning if the sports books really wanted us on the dog, that line should be under the 3 points, especially for a away team. But here's the other thing. With Aaron Rodgers already being on the field, I think the Jets need to win so many games to get Aaron Rodgers back, which would be around week 16, week 17 of the NFL season. And they got to be in position to make a playoff run, which will get Aaron Rodgers back. And it's going to be weird because maybe Aaron Rodgers didn't even should I wear the 10 hat on this one? Because it is so weird that a 40-year-old man tears one of the worst things that you could do as an athlete, and he's already a month later on the football field throwing the ball around. So did this guy even tear it, or was that for your entertainment? I don't know. It's just odd. What do you think, Bryce?
The replay definitely shows like he snapped something.
Yeah.
Now I will say though, I have a sick replay from high school when I was running down the basketball court and my calf cramped up, and literally you could see my calf completely fold. And hey, Aaron Rodgers wearing socks and I'll put my tinfoil hat on real quick. He was wearing socks, so you can't really see, and maybe it's just a calf cramp. Maybe his calf.
But don't you think it's weird? Don't you think it's weird that he's all like a month out? I've seen guys having to rehab this for fucking 6 months. They don't come. The old NFL, you tear that, maybe technology and modern medicine has caught up to us, but the old NFL, you blow that fucking Achilles out, you don't come back till next year. So I don't know what the fuck Aaron Rodgers is taking.
That's a career changing injury. It's insane.
And he's already on the field, just whipping the ball around before pregame. He has motherfucking what's his name? Pete McAfee, is it? No, it is not Pete.
Pat.
What the fuck? Pat. I called him Pete, right? Pat McAfee's over there talking to him as he's just whipping the ball around. It's just like, wait a minute. This is fucking odd to me, but what do I know?
One NHL bet that rookie 9348 put us on is St. Louis Blues money line tomorrow. So we can maybe think about that and going deeper into that tomorrow.
Okay.
And then switching over sports, kind of jumping over to basketball, NBA. Wazlowski is asking if the Spurs are winning tonight. Do you have any NBA plays for tonight? And then we also had another warning, actually, from Lockfather. Harden is back, FYI. So he would fade any props in that game. So I guess Harden's coming back.
Yeah, you mean he's gonna? This is what I'll go through the NBA slate really quick because I can't go through the whole college. But just from an eye test, right? I haven't capped any of this. I haven't even opened up a box, see who's playing, injury reports, nothing. But I'm looking at Warriors at Pistons. Warriors minus 7.5. I would take the Pistons plus 7.5. They just played the other day against the Suns and they didn't cover. They're at home. I think that's a big number because these are, I don't think any good team takes the Pistons serious. And so when you come in, I think that that the Warriors win, but I could definitely see the Pistons covering plus 7.5. That means that towards the end of the game, the Warriors are going to have to be up by 10, holding a 10-point lead for this not to cover maybe a backdoor fucking launch of a 3. But give me the Pistons at home at plus 7.5. I think it's too big, especially coming off a loss to the Suns. Then you have the Spurs at Pacers. Let me tell you something that I saw about the Pacers. The Pacers, for some reason, look like the best team you've ever seen in your life when they play at home. Something's got to change, but minus 9.5, I think that's a big number also. I mean, but the Pacers have been demolishing teams at home. So be leery of that. And then you have Mavericks at Magic. Magic minus 4.5. What the fuck is going on with that? Does anyone in the comments know what's going on? Why are the Magic minus 4.5 against the Mavericks, who are 5-1? I know we all love the Mavericks because they got superstars, but something's weird. That line screams trap. Do you guys agree or not? Then we have Wizards at 76ers. I do like that line. I think the 76ers can crush the Wizards. Minus 11.5. I probably will, just by eye test, be dropping a unit on that. Lakers at Heat. They got the Heat minus 1.5. That also screams a little fishy just because I think they should be. That should be minus 3.5, minus 4.5. But what do I know? Bucks, Nets. They have Bucks minus 5.5. See, that's a true good team on the road line, minus 5.5. That tells me there's nothing going on there. There's nothing crazy. I mean, am I going to take the game? Probably not. Then you have the Clippers at Knicks. The Knicks, you love them, you hate them. You don't know what the hell Randall's going to do one night. He might drop fucking 500 points, or the next night he's complaining and just walking up and down the fucking court. The Clippers have all 4 of their stars. Is that correct, Bryce? Is that what someone said?
Yes. Everybody's back.
I mean, there's only one basketball on the fucking floor, and when you have Kawhi, you have fucking Harden, you have Toad Boy. Doesn't he look like a battle toad? Doesn't Westbrook just look? There's like an old cartoon. They were called like Battle Toads. He looks like a battle toad to me. But there's only one basketball. Who's gonna keep it?
He looks like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Let me see. Jazz at Bulls. Let's just run through it really quick. Bulls minus 4.5. I do like that. I mean, both teams have been completely shit this year. So give me the Bulls at home minus 4.5. Kings at Rockets. Kings minus 2.5. I like that. I could see that. I like the line's a little low for the Kings, but they're both 2-3. So we'll see what happens. Boston's 5-0 at Minnesota. They're giving you Celtics minus 2.5. Boston can't just be 76 games. They're not going to win 86 games, right? Then you have the Hawks, 4-2 at the Thunder. They have Thunder winning that game, minus 1.5. I like that. I might take the Thunder tonight. And then the Pelicans at Nuggets. Nuggets minus 6.5. Seems pretty right. I mean, Pelicans are 4-2. Nuggets 6-1. I think they got their loss on the road, right? And then they came back and, minus 6.5. So out of all the games, the one game that does scream trap is to take the Magic minus 4.5, because that doesn't make sense to me. And then I also like 76ers 11.5. I
think Van Diggity, and I haven't looked into it, but I think Kyrie and Luka might be out for the Mavs.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah, then so that makes it kind of make a little bit more sense. I have a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Who did they say? Kyrie and who?
Luca.
Oh, both of them out?
Yeah, they might be out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're still playing.
Usually when you see superstars that are both out, sometimes that team comes, and everyone there always sees this shit. Anytime superstars are out and then the line, it fluctuates but they're on the road, so it makes sense. But if superstars are out at home and the line is favoring the other team, sometimes the team with the superstars out rally and fucking end up winning the game. It always happens. What was the question, Bryce?
So this is a me question, actually. This isn't even a comment question. Just because I don't consider myself even close to a professional handicapper or a sports betting handicapper, even though I've lived with one my whole life. How important in the NBA or in basketball in general are the hooks, like the half points when you're taking? Because every time I always have FanDuel pulled up for just my reference because it's really easy to navigate.
Sure.
That's not a plug or anything. It's just I like it. So when you're saying you're saying like the Nets were plus 5.5. Well, I can see them, or plus 4.5. Well, I can see them at plus 5. So like how important is that hook and finding that best line value when you're going through multiple sports books, or do you try to stick with one, or what's your insight on that?
No, I mean, if you're the first thing you should do, and one day later on in the show, I'll go through my whole capping process. And guys, I know sometimes I'm like John Wayne of the sports betting world, and I'm fucking shooting from the hip. That's just who I am in my nature. So I need to calm that fucking animal down sometimes. And if I truly settle down and I go, okay, I'm going to cap a slate of games and I'm going to figure out what's the best value and where I can find, I'm a fucking beast at this game, right? So the first process you should always do is you should go through the slate without looking at the line or the spread or the over under or their record. You should just ask yourself right away who should win. You make a little check mark by that. Then the second thing you should do is check the line. Say, let me see what the line is now. See if it matches what I think, right? And when you do the first one, who should win, you should write the score down of what you think's going to happen. And you have to know who's out, who's playing, who's not, all that other stuff, because you could get really deep with this. Then the third thing you should do is check the spread, check like who's out, who's in. You should check their records, obviously, if they're traveling. How many games have they been on the road? Is this their fourth road game, right? There's so many factors that should come into the point of soon I'm going to write a pamphlet, right? It's going to be a pamphlet on how you should go through the process of picking the games. Sometimes, like I said, do I do that every time? No, because sometimes I'm like John Wayne. I think I should know everything in my head. But if I truly sit down on paper, there's truly a formula to this. So to answer your question, does the hook come into play? Yes, because it always comes into play. If you could find one game, Bryce, on FanDuel that it's minus 4.5 and the other time it's minus 5.5, obviously you should take it on the other side, right? On the FanDuel or the better line comparing to where you found it before. And the same thing, if you like a dog in the points, you should be shopping around to see if it's somewhere else there might be a line. Now, I'll show you one for instance. If you go to MGM, I use MGM a lot, and let's say you like an overtime game, right? Like to put overtime. MGM are a bunch of greedy pigs. They give you like overtime, like tonight. For instance, go look at it. MGM overtime for this game will be like plus 900, maybe plus 750. But if you go to DraftKings or FanDuel, it's like plus 1,300. That's a huge fucking difference for your money. Does that make sense, Bryce? Like mean, that's just one small factor of same thing. If you go and do a same game player prop of touchdowns, right? You pick 3 guys to score a touchdown tonight, but then you go to like Prize Picks, some of these other smaller ones, and you put them same 3 guys in. On FanDuel, it might be like plus 700, but on Prize Picks, it's like plus 1,300. So always check all your sports books, check everything, and we'll see. That's basically how it is. You got to shop around.
Yep. Yeah, and if you're probably not willing to put in that time, I mean, you're probably, I mean, I'd like to know, like, if you were to, I'd like to get a comparison of how many times if someone just got fucked over that never shops around compared to someone who does shop around, like how often that actually does happen.
For sure, all the fucking time, like tons of times, like more than you can imagine. And trust me, the like I said, the sports books are fucking greedy. They know what they're doing when it comes to some of this thing. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap up this show. Thank you for following. Make sure you give me a follow. Go find me on social media, especially TikTok. I love all my haters on TikTok. I got a group of them. I got like a corral of these motherfuckers. When I win big, I can't find them. When I lose, these fuckers come out of the woodwork like I'm Taylor Swift at a fucking free concert, dude. They come out and I don't even know where they come from. But later on this week, guys, I have a special guest coming. I don't know if you guys have all seen the fucking dog house that I have over here. I showed you the monster. I have a massive dog house over here. This dog house that I built is for the dogs, right? And when I say dogs, I'm saying dogs good. And there's going to be it's almost going to be like my Hall of Fame, and anyone who's won us big money. Like, definitely who belongs on this Hall of Fame fucking doghouse is Indiana, because they fucking cashed us big. They cashed us with plus 9.5. And the money line was fucking plus 300. They deserve to be on the fucking wall. And the wall will always change by year, but I'm bringing a special guest in. He's going to be the first official, I don't even know what we should call it. Should we call it the dog pound? We need to come up with a name for it, but he's definitely going to be, and he's going to be a surprise guest. I'm not even going to tell you who he's going to be, but probably on Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to bring him on. So make sure you follow, but he's being introduced and introduced into the first Nasty Nation Sports Dungeon Doghouse. He'll always be on there just because I truly believe he's someone that's always been sports betting, but he's also changed the way we look at sports betting and how we sports bet. And so he's definitely going on there. So make sure you guys tune in. Follow me on TikTok. It's called Crypto Sports. So crypto_sports. Because when football season and all the sports die down, I do like to talk about cryptocurrencies and other ways, other things to make money. So make sure you guys go give me a follow. Anything else, Bryce?
No, we have a few guesses that I really can't say of who it's going to be. I actually don't even know who it's going to be. So other than that, no, just join SoBet, follow Nasty on all of his social media platforms, and
yeah, if you want to put the SoBet on there again, why we shut the show down, it'll be great. But guys, if you want to join the SoBet, it's $10 a month. That's 33 cents a day. But tune in. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll keep going into it. We'll see how we did.